Hey everyone, Catherine here. In our last video, I talked about pojagi, which is the Korean kind of art of wrapping things in cloth. And it's just kind of been one of the fun things I've gotten into during this quarantine period. It kind of all started out when I got this birthday present for June that was in a bit of a large size box. And I didn't have any wrapping paper at home. So when I was walking out of the store when I got it, I saw a place that does pojagi wrapping. And I was like, oh sweet, no wrapping for me. And I thought it was actually really cool. A nice way to reuse fabrics, and it's just a different little Korean touch to things. So I will start by showing you some of the basic stuff, and these are just handkerchiefs. I got this, I think, from Artbox a while ago, and this is just a basic fold for books. And these are a little bit see-through and stretchy, so they're not the optimal pojagi wrapping cloth, but they do the job for practice. And I think that's what I really like about them. So a lot of this stuff is really straightforward and it's quite pretty. So I am using a book that I got at Kyobo that just talks about the different types of pojagi that you can do. But there's a lot of really cool Korean YouTubers out there who are artists in their own right. And they actually show how to do a lot of these really pretty patterns. And much more gracefully than myself, I must add. So this is just a basic one you can do for books. It's kind of like a bit of a billfold, and it just looks like that. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. You can tuck, decorations or cards or cut flowers, something in this little pocket, and that's just a really sweet way to wrap a book for somebody. And you can incorporate a handkerchief or a scarf or something as the actual wrapping, so it's really two presents in one. And then you don't have to worry about all the wrapping paper going everywhere left and right. This is one that you can use for wrapping lunch boxes. It essentially makes a little handle. I do get sent tea by my wonderful parents. They know that I am a huge fan of various decaf teas that are a little harder to get here, but thanks, Mom and Dad. I just got a package from them, and they also got me some good decaf coffee, which it's actually getting a lot more common to find here in Korea, but still a little tricky. And so one of the hard things about this, especially if you're working with these little more stretchy fabrics, is getting the tension right. And so I've been trying to practice just a bit more because it really pays off. And there's other tools that are commonly used while doing pojagi. So a lot of you are probably familiar with bone folders, but it basically just kind of a nice thin stick you can slip in and help organize all the folds, because some of the more complicated folds that you'll see that I cannot do yet, you do need a little bit of work to actually make everything line up nice and pretty. And a lot of pojagi are actually two-sided, and there's a couple different types of wrapping you can do. So I'm using essentially one-sided handkerchiefs, and you'll see in the next wrap that there are two-sided types, and it actually works out really well because certain folds are designed to show off the multiple color patterns that kind of are on pojagi. So hopefully once COVID calms down a little bit, or if I just go and do some online shopping, I can get some pretty patterned pojagi and wrap with those for packages for Christmas. And then you just spin these little guys up, tie them at the top, and that will have given you a teeny tiny little handle for your present. Isn't that cute? So it's very light since it's just a box of tea, but I think it's charming. So I'm going to move the camera because the other one's quite large, as you'll see, but hopefully everything works out. So we've got the pojagi all spread out. This is the conveniently sized board game that will work instead of the present that I had for my husband. And it always pays off to get your folds nice and neat from the beginning. Right on the edge there. A little hard sometimes with the larger pojagi to kind of one-hand everything. Kind of taking advantage of the bright red color that's on one side. Okay. You want to make sure you have everything folded in so that it doesn't show until it's time. So this style is generally called butterfly nabi style because it's kind of like two butterflies' wing. It's always a bit of practice that we're going into. So as long as I learn new things and slowly improve, I don't mind a few stumbles along the way. And that, my friends, is how you do larger wrappings. And the wonderful thing about this, convenient handle, especially good for the weirdly large boxes. So I hope everyone's having a good time. Please, explore pojagi. I'll put how to spell it in Korean in the description box below, so you can check out all the Korean YouTubers who do much more beautiful and in-depth videos than I do. Until then, have a good one. See ya.